All right, here we are, season 4, episode 3 of BMF. Your boy just Dale. We got this review recap. As always, there's some spoilers here, so if you ain't see the episode yet, you might want to come back. If you don't care, continue on. Got a special announcement today during this episode, so you definitely want to stick around for that. Big news for here and something great and exclusive coming to y'all viewers very soon, but you got to stick around to find out what it is. All right, let's jump into this now. This episode starts out just like the other episodes with a flashback. We got Meech, Terry, and Loco trying to smuggle themselves back into the States, and they get stopped by what I guess are bounty hunters. They have a fight. They manage to fight them off. Typical action scene to start out the episode of the show. I think it was particularly one of the better ones, even though it was a little crazy. It seems like Meech, Terry, and Loco got some serious plot armor at this point because they have no chance of losing these fights against all of these people who always get the drop on them. But hey, that's the show aspect of it. It's entertainment. I'm with it. Back in the present time, Nicole, her mother, and Terry pop up on Meech in Atlanta. She's there with one of his stripper girls, as he always is. His mother has a little entertaining scene where she kind of grills her and kicks her out the house. Hey, this is Meech's house. What are you doing, lady? Chill out. But we kind of see the mom going through sort of a beginning of what I think is a downward spiral here. She's kind of starting to lose control of everything, and it seems like she's having a hard time holding it together, but we'll see how this plays out. The car dealership Connect tries to make things right with Meech and Terry by giving up the guy who sold the stolen cars. She seems like she either really cares and respects them or she is really afraid of them. I don't know which one it is, but at least she tries to keep things cordial with them and help them out best she can. My man Charles, if y'all been watching my reviews, y'all know how I feel about Charles. He's one of my favorite characters, and it seems like he just always has the worst luck. Charles cannot catch a break, man. Russell Hornsby's an amazing actor, and the Charles story arc is one of my favorite underlying story arcs. Besides all the drugs and the fighting and the guns, his story could be its own show. He manages to find a new love interest at Terry's restaurant. Yes, you heard it. Charles' game is still top tier. He bags up one of the hostesses, waitresses, cooks. I don't even know what she is. But man, Charles, I just like seeing Charles in action. I like his whole storyline. And for once, it looks like Charles might catch a break here. It looks like Charles finally got one after all the terrible things that's been happening to him. Meech, Terry, Nicole, and their mother travel to a church in Atlanta. Now, this scene here speaks a lot. I'm thinking this is trying to mock those mega churches that they had down in Atlanta for so long and still do have, where there's ATM machines in the church and it's all about money, 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 money. This is a church, but this is a money scheme at the same time. The best part of this scene for me is the pastor is played by none other than Clifton Powell. Yes, you know, Pinky, the guy, the man himself is legendary. He's been through so much. He plays Pastor Coleman and he does it with such enthusiasm that you think he must really do this in real life. It was a crazy and amazing performance. I was glad to see him on the show. And that brings us to the big news of the day. Tomorrow, I will be releasing an exclusive interview with Clifton Powell where we talk about BMF, the world, and many other things. You don't want to miss this. If you're a fan of BMF, if you're a fan of Clifton Powell, if you're a fan of the show here and you just want to support, make sure you check that out. Actually, hit the subscribe button now because it's only the beginning of great exclusives and things we're going to be having. So please comment, like, subscribe, tell me what you want to see, and be here tomorrow to run up that interview for me. All right, let's finish the review. Now, what I was saying about the dealership owner, about the fear or respect aspect she has with the Flannery brothers, I don't know. But she's grilled by Detective Brian, who I must say, he's not an easygoing guy. He really is intense with his interrogations. And she manages to stay 10 toes down. She supports and defends the brothers and puts everything off on this other guy. It was a good moment to see that someone outside of the initial core group actually holds it down and respects the game. So shout out to her. So far, she's running up the list of good characters on the show. B. Mickey is still on his redemption campaign as he invites Charles over while the family's out to have dinner. What is he really up to here? Like, I feel like he really wants to get in, but at the same time, I feel like he might not, and he has some ulterior motives. I don't know what it is. It's hard to trust somebody like B. Mickey after what he did. But I do like B. Mickey, and I want it to be on the up and up, and I want him to be great. But it was good to see the relationship between him and Charles because he was like another son to their family. So I don't know. I'm on the fence with B. Mickey, man. I want to like him, but I don't trust him. I understand why Meech just wants him gone, you know? We get a little bit more here from Trell, which is Purdy, the artist manager. This guy seems like trouble if you ask me. I don't think he's a pushover, but I see that Meech probably doesn't really respect him. He tried to steal his artist, who seems to be on the nose candy. Yes, he is using drugs, which is no big surprise. I mean, look what we're doing here. Look at the show. I just hope that that doesn't come into conflict with what Meech is doing, or she doesn't cause more trouble here. I am on the fence about her. What do you guys feel about Purdy? Do you think her character is going to be an asset to the Flannery brothers or a burden? I don't know. At this point, she's looking more like a burden than an asset. Charles's little flirty relationship seems to go a little further. He even decides to go tell his wife that he's gonna go out and date, which I know just hurts her to the core. Like I say, I see it in her eyes. That downward spiral is happening. She is losing and she is losing all control. And it just seems like she really hates to see Charles happy. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like anything good that goes for Charles, she just doesn't like it. She's not one of my favorite. Like, she's kind of an annoying character at this point. Not the actress, she's doing really well. If it's making me feel this way about her, and that's the point, she's doing amazing. But yeah, I'm really starting to not like her. It seemed like things between P from St. Louis and the Flannery brothers might be going a little awry because he sold their wake without their permission and he wants more control. This guy seemed like a problem from the beginning. Meech is not a great judge of character, and Terry's a little soft, so them two working together is bound to give you some disasters. And this looks like this one is heading for a disaster. I can see nothing good coming from this, honestly. P seems like an opportunist. Terry is just too much of a bleeding heart, and Meech is too trusting. And to make matters worse, Loco shows up and tells Meech that he wants everything to run through St. Louis. So the brothers will probably have to relocate. But Meech has the idea to give it to P to really give him that position. Loco doesn't trust it. I think the only person Loco actually likes is Dimitri, as he says. So this is, again, a recipe for disaster. You got a bunch of guys who nobody really likes each other except for Loco and Meech. And money, drugs, guns, we all see what's going to happen here, right? Do we? Are we in agreement? Drop a comment if you think this is just going to head to just nonsense and disaster. The closing parts of this episode are full of questionable decisions by Terry. He takes Markeisha to a meet, or what he thinks is a meet, and she presses him to go into this diner filled with police. He has to explain to her, and he thinks that she may be setting him up, which I think she may be setting him up too. But she says she has no idea, and it's just a weird scene. And I'm like, man, you need to get away from this girl. Why doesn't Terry learn? What is it about Markeisha that Terry just doesn't get? It's not good for him. She's not good for him. Lawanda, she actually has some type of love and care for you, man. Just get out of there, Terry. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with Terry? And then Terry does another questionable thing as he gives B. Mickey a chance. He puts B. Mickey in a role. He gives B. Mickey a spot. Does he not know what happened? It's like, I understand him and Meech are at odds, but bro, this guy should be an untouchable at this point. He really should be off the board. They should have got rid of him. But I don't know. So episode 3 overall gave us a lot of developments. It was a very good story building episode. Not too much on the action, but I don't really need too much just yet because you know how these shows go. Everything is kind of heavy loaded towards the end. What do you guys think about Meech and Terry? I guess the big question for the day is, are Meech and Terry ever going to really see eye to eye again? It seems like they keep doing things behind each other's back and they kind of like other people more than they like each other. What do you think is going to come for this? Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Make sure y'all check out the Clifton Powell interview that I got running tomorrow. And I'll see you guys next week for another review. Peace.